this team could still win a championship as it's put together now?
I mean, we didn't, so obviously we can't. If we could, we will win it. So I don't believe in those if stuff. So we had the opportunity, we didn't win it. So I think we can't. But from now, like next couple of days, there's going to be a lot of beer probably.
All right, 2 years falling short of the conference finals. Do you like the Joker's comments post-game?
I love it. I love it because I respect the hell out of him. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's great. He was first in the league in triple doubles. He was second, third rather. He was second in career in assists at 10.2 assists per game. He was third in steals, rebounds, and a career high 29.6 points per game. The brother is phenomenal, and he's a champion. And by the way, they were a minus 22 in the playoffs whenever he wasn't on the court. He is special. He needs help. And basically he's saying, that's exactly what I need. No problem with it whatsoever.
I mean, he's just being real, right? Like we didn't have Denver get to the finals. I think he was just getting up there. He's being real. I think also though, like in that game 7, and I have to just touch on this, like I didn't like his body language. When things weren't going right, he was complaining so much. I thought that it kind of like bear down on the team a little bit, right? And I just have to say this. David Adelman, it had to be some type of fixes in that game. It had to be some type of adjustments, and I think that Jokic didn't do a great job of communicating with his coach and showing him what needs to be changed because they just continue to do the same thing.
I defer to you on that. I'll defer to you.
All right, we got
fire the GM. Is this window closed as this team is constructed now?
Well, I'm gonna have to go to my analytics, guy and see what we can do with the money. But when they had role players like Bruce Brown and KCP, Jeff Green, for instance, those guys actually really helped, right? They alleviated a lot of pressure off those guys. I would not want to give up on the Nuggets just because I'm kind of infatuated with, the Murray, Jokic pick and roll. They put me out of the playoffs, but. I'm going to say they need to do some work in getting some role players that can help. I know Christian Braun is great. Peyton Watson is great. Russ was obviously good for them, but I think that's the department that they really need to take a deep dive in.
Yeah, he makes a good point. Like when they lost Bruce Brown, I just remember that parade when they won the championship. He's coming back. He leaves. Jeff Green, even he didn't play that much, but he played in some minutes. But guys like that matter. KCP matters. And so now you have, again, like he mentioned, Christian Braun, Strother, he showed some signs, but they really haven't taken that next step. Of Peyton Watson, I thought at this point of his career, he'd be a lot more productive than he is. Russ was great when he was given an opportunity, so I'm not ready to give up on them either. I think all 4 of them are under contract for a lot of money anyway, so the only thing they could do is possibly trade one of them, and I think that would be Michael Porter. He'd be the one to go. It's not going to be Murray. It's not going to be Jokic, obviously. Aaron Gordon, I think, showed that's someone who I want in that locker room, but Porter is the one I think the fans kind of grew frustrated with. He was very inconsistent. He shot extremely ineffective from the field this series. So I know he was playing through an injury too with his shoulder, but I think if they had to make a move, they have some picks. It would be Porter and some picks to kind of better that roster. And because the window is closing, Jokic is he's getting older. Jamal Murray's so this window is this team is built to win now.
Yep.
Lou?
And they're not winning it all now, so they have to switch it up.
That's 2. No, the window's not quite closed. Go. What do you think?
Yeah, they're gonna have to tighten up. They're gonna have to tighten up their bench, right? And we got to figure out what's going on with Pickett.
I didn't get that.
He was part of the Chandler. I know that.
I knew it. I saw it doing it.
I already know that's Chandler, but we got to figure out what's going on. We got to figure out what's going on with Pickett. He was part of the reason of the firing. So they say they wanted him to play more minutes. He's going to have to be more impactful. Peyton Watson is going to have to be one of those guys that's going to have to be impactful. They got to figure out what's going on with Michael Porter Jr. It was alarming to me that they were having a conversation about his involvement and how engaged he were. And then after that, he goes out and tries his best to play with a bum shoulder, and it didn't work out for him. And Jamal Murray is another guy. If you're gonna be the Robin to the Batman or the 1A, 1B or the second option, he has to play better. We got to take these tags off of these guys, the play out version of yourself. Like you have to be consistent at all times. And so those are some of the things that they're going to tighten up on. But again, you got a guy like Nikola on your team. You always have an opportunity to win big, to go deep into the playoffs. But all of the pieces around him, they're going to have to tighten them up if they still want their window to be open. And so as they're constructed right now, I don't see it, but I'm sure they'll make some moves that'll put them right back in the position to be there next year.
Seems to be the assumption here.
I don't think this is a panic this summer, and like they just took arguably the best team in the NBA, the youngest, the most set up team for the future, to 7 games.
And they had chances to win it in game 5.
They literally, this is not like a panic situation. Again, this team is built to win now. They ran into a really good young team. It took them 7 games. So again, they have just fired Malone. They have some decisions to make now on Adelman, but this team is still in a really good situation. Adelman.
I know. I was about to make fun of you, but I need you to correct yourself before.
Jamal Williams?
Jamal Williams.
Wait, what?
Let's talk about Adelman, because he took over with 3 games left in the regular season. The most logical time, really, for you to fire a coach. Do you think he's earned the chance to come back? You think they're going to try to go get some, I don't know, bigger name?
Yeah, I guess there's more vet names out there. You look across who's available, and again, I think the NBA, the head coaching, it's just a cesspool. They just keep hiring and firing. So I'd like to see them give him a chance. I'd like to see them or go and give like a Sam Cassell or someone that hasn't had the opportunity yet, that can relate to players. It's a player's coach that also obviously is great with his X's and O's and development and all that. I think that's what they should do, and I think he's done enough. I think Jokic has his trust, has his respect, and like I said, this team is still in a great position. And so I think this is more of they're going to have some heart-to-heart conversations. They're going to meet with Jokic, obviously. I feel like that has a lot of impact.
I would think so, right? I mean, if Jokic likes him.
But he didn't, again, he just took the best team left to 7 games. Like, no reason to panic.
And he came in with 3 games left. So, my bad, Lou. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm new to this.
Do your thing. You the guy in charge today, man. You the one.
I'm in your seat, man. I'm wearing the Air Forces over here and everything.
Hey, listen. I'll take the day. You do your thing. Trust me.
Can I take your paycheck?
No, listen. I think. Look, I'm gonna skip over that. But I think he did a great job. You know, the only thing for me is I don't know if you necessarily want Joker to be the guy in the huddles every time that we're seeing him on camera, being the most boisterous and the person that's leading these things. So I think they give him another opportunity, but I think they also play the field as well and see who else is out there. Who do they feel like they can get them over the hump? You know, like Chandler just mentioned, I would love to see a guy like a Sam Cassell, who's been an assistant of mine and a personal friend, get a shot. I don't know if this is the job, but I wouldn't mind him getting a shot anywhere in the NBA, you know. So I'm sure they're going to do their due diligence. And Chandler just mentioned it, man. They just took the best team in the West that everybody's considered them being the best team to 7 games. So you don't overreact, you don't panic, but there are a lot of areas that they can clean up, and coaching as well. I think they'll look at him and give him another opportunity, and if they feel like they can get better at that position as well, I'm sure they'll do it.
I mean, he deserves his flowers, dude. I mean, there's 3 games left. The GM got fired. The head coach got fired. He came in and actually looked like he had somewhat control over the situation over there. So I give him a lot of credit. I personally didn't know that he had that ability, but after watching some of his sets, his plays, how he coached, being blown out, coming back from being blown out, I was extremely impressed. I think that's your guy moving forward.
Yeah, you can always fire him later if you don't.
You see, San Antonio just went with the young coach. Memphis went with the young coach.
Their interim coach.
Yeah, Doug Christie kept the job in Sacramento, so there's something to count for that relationship and that kind of foundation that they already have.
I have a question about that really quickly. How much does the team, the organization, whoever the powers that be, are they on site enough to see the sort of chemistry or how a player and a coach gets along? Like, for example, if you were to come watch them and it seems like everybody's kosher and we're all good, does that mean he has a better shot at keeping the gig?
For sure, I think so. I think as long as the locker room has a lot to say with that, and if it's a fun environment and it's, again, you trust that guy, you're run through a wall for that guy, of course that helps. So if you have a personal relationship where this guy can coach you, he can jump you, he can say whatever he wants to on the court, and then you know it's not personal, 100%. So that kind of relationship, if he has that with the guys, whether that's in shoot-around or meal or training room or on the flights or the buses, whatever, that 100% matters when you want to, you know.
Hello, xin chào tất cả mọi người. Hôm nay mình sẽ dẫn mọi người gấp một chú cún long lanh nha. Mời cùng bắt tay và gấp với mình nha. Đây là những dụng cụ mà mình đã chuẩn bị để mình làm nhé mọi người. Mình đã chuẩn bị một cái kéo và một tờ giấy nha.